The big question though we're asking tonight on India at 9, A. Raja case, is Manmohan Singh's credibility now on test? Is the Prime Minister's credibility on test? Joining us now, a very special panel. Jayanti Natarajan of the Congress, spokesperson of the Congress, joins us from Chennai. TM Selva Ganapati, DMK's MP, is also going to be joining us here in our studios. Kiran Bedi, former IPS officer who's going to lead an agitation against corruption in 2 days' time, is joining us. Ramaswamy, veteran political commentator and editor of Tughlaq, is also joining us. Appreciate all of you joining us here on India at 9. Also joining us, Subramanian Swamy of the Janata Party, who's filed that petition in the Supreme Court. But I'm going to come first to Jayanti Natarajan. Ms. Natarajan, in view of the CAG report on the Spectrum case, indicting Mr. Raja, I'm going to ask you again today, as I asked you 2 days ago, should the Prime Minister, now that he's returning to India, accept Mr. A. Raja's resignation, ask for his resignation? What is the take of the Congress party on this?
I'm not aware of any CAG report that has been tabled in Parliament. I'm aware of a great deal of media speculation. I would like to reiterate what we've been saying for the last 3 days, that the matter is sub judice and it's not possible for us to comment any further on it.
Jayanti Natarajan, you may not be aware, the nation is. Ever since CNN IBN broke this story, the nation is aware of the CAG report. The point is Mr. Raja virtually acting in defiance of this CAG report? Are they somewhere, by virtually saying he has no reason to resign, is he undermining the credibility of the Prime Minister? Because the stories we've shown suggest even the Prime Minister was not in approval of Mr. Raja's actions.
I would not like to link the two things. The Prime Minister's credibility has got absolutely nothing to do with this, apart from being something that every single citizen of this country is perfectly aware is an integrity unimpeachable of the highest order. We do not need to once again assert that particular point. And as far as the second issue is concerned, there is no CAG report which has been tabled in Parliament as of today.
Jayanti Natarajan, there is no CAG report tabled in Parliament, but the CAG report is here. It's here for you to see, for the nation to see. I mean, how long is the Congress going to, go ahead and table it on Monday. You can easily do that. Our channel has been showing the report for the last 3 days. If the Congress party is serious, go and table this report. You're today even refusing to acknowledge the existence of the report.
I would like to repeat today, congratulate you and your channel for your investigative journalism. But I'm still unable to comment upon something which is not officially laid on the table of Parliament. Journalists, you may have the privilege of commenting extensively for 3 days upon a report which has been obtained by you. But as far as I'm concerned, until the Public Accounts Committee has not commented on it, until it has not been laid on the table of Parliament, it is not possible for us to have an official view on it.
I see. I'm going to ask you one more time. It seems as if the Congress and the Prime Minister in some way want to wash their hands of this case. I mean, isn't the Prime Minister in one way supposed to know what his cabinet minister is doing? If Mr. A. Raja was virtually subverting, some would say, the telecom policy of the country to benefit a few, shouldn't the Prime Minister have known?
When I'm saying that this report itself, as far as I'm concerned, we have not, nobody has leaked it to us, and we are only going looking at the press reports.
Ma'am.
So therefore, I would like to repeat that we do not wish to comment on something which is media speculation. In fact, a media feeding frenzy.
No, I'm asking you a very specific question again, ma'am. Can the Prime Minister now wash his hands of this entire 2G episode?
You're not. You're asking me a question. You're asking me a question based upon the report, which I'm not in a position to answer.
So Jayanti Natarajan believes this report does not exist. Let me go straight across to our other panelists. Ramaswamy, you've heard Jayanti Natarajan. What's your view? Why is the Congress refusing to even table the report? Is it coalition compulsions? Do you believe that Mr. Karunanidhi is blackmailing this government?
See, Jayalalitha, by her offer of support, has exposed this government. Whatever her intentions, I do not know what it is, but the result is the exposure. Now she has said, you need not bother about facing a midterm election unnecessarily. The government will not be toppled. there are enough MPs to support you in case the DMK withdraws support. Act against Raja. The government is not prepared to listen. So it is not a question of the government getting toppled or there being midterm election. It is something else. What is that something? That is what the question is now. What is that something?
No, do you think it's blackmail? Do you think Karunanidhi is blackmailing this government? That's saying that if you remove Raja, I will withdraw support. Or is it something else?
It must be something else, because his withdrawal of support is not going to matter because somebody else is there prepared to give support.
Okay.
That has been open, that message is delivered to the people, not to the Congress. So somebody is hiding, not Raja, not the DMK, but somebody else. The Prime Minister's honesty is much bandied about. True, maybe, but it is a cloak for all the dishonest acts that are going around the Prime Minister in his cabinet. Everybody dishonest is being protected. The Prime Minister gave a wonderful defense of Raja some time back.
Right.
He has said that he is not in the wrong. He has said that he has not committed any wrong. So that is it.
Okay.
Thereafter, the accused will be asked by the judge, have you committed any wrong? No, sir, no, Your Honor. Then it's all right, you are acquitted. That is the kind of justice the Prime Minister is meting out.
Since you are mentioning the Prime Minister, I want to go again back once more to Jayanti Natarajan. Miss Natarajan, isn't the Prime Minister in some way having to, accept responsibility? He can't shy away from the concept of collective responsibility when he's the CEO of the government. If his minister is being indicted by the CAG, it's an indictment in a sense of the entire cabinet system, of the Prime Minister himself.
These are all interpretations that are coming from you. And these are not actual statements of fact, and as such I feel that I'm unable to answer something which is merely speculation and which is totally upon the basis of something which has not been officially laid on the table of Parliament.
Ma'am, you're being today completely evasive. Mr. Gadpati of the DMK, appreciate your joining us, because the DMK appears now to believe that Mr. Raja is in the right, that you believe this is some kind of a conspiracy against Mr. Raja. Are you saying the CAG has conspired against him? Are you saying the Supreme Court, which wondered why this minister is continuing in office, has conspired against him? Are you wondering if the CBI, which has raided the offices of the Telecom Ministry, has conspired against him? Why is the DMK holding on to Mr. Raja, sir? Change him, bring in another minister, is what is being suggested by the opposition.
Mr. Desai, our consistent view is that Raja has not committed any wrong. Simple reason, you were talking about the CAG report, which is not tabled before the Parliament, which has to be discussed in the Parliament, and it has to go to the Public Accounts Committee, then only the government can take an action on that. Now, I have a CAG report. In 99, the same issuance of spectrum policy, the CAG categorically told that there was a huge loss because of the non-auctioning policy. Consistently, the Department of Telecommunication is following the procedures laid down by the new telecom policy 1999 and the subsequent cabinet decision of 2003. Then the TROI, which was established to govern these issues, time and again.
Are you saying that
no.
Okay, you're saying the CAG report is sufficient to ask for the resignation of Mr. Raja. Kiran Bedi, even in the Commonwealth Games, your argument and others have made that not even a simple FIR has been filed. You apparently are going to make this a national movement against corruption from the 14. Do you believe a CAG report which indicts a minister should be reason enough for a minister to resign, or should one wait for a judicial pronouncement before someone resigns?
Rajdeep, two things.
Yes.
That's true. 14th of November, on Pandit Nehruji's birthday, 4 p.m., all those who want to raise their voice against this rampant corruption should assemble at the Jantar Mantar at 4 p.m. After that, we are going to file an FIR at the police station, Parliament Street. Lot of keen groups, organized groups, non-political groups, individuals are joining hands at 4 p.m. on Jantar Mantar.
Right.
So this is a clarion call for anybody who wants to play an activist role and genuinely want to speak up against corruption, right, and is not afraid of being seen on camera. Number
right.
2. And now we will file an FIR against CWG because it's all gone for a toss already. There is no FIR worth the name. There are only 2 small FIRs with the CBI, one on that Queen's Baton the other on electricity poles here. That's all. Where is the rest? Because Shunglu committee cannot investigate. It is only an inquiry. It's not notified. It cannot compel any evidence.
So even in the telecom scam, do you believe a CAG report is the way out? Should the Prime Minister be intervening? What would the solution that you and other activists would want from the Prime Minister? The central question, the Prime Minister's credibility is on test. He's supposed to be an honest man. What would you like this honest man to be doing, Kiran Bedi?
We expect the honest man two things. One, prove his honesty. Now prove his honesty because he's being made a co-accused by Raja. So we want his statement on the floor of the House. I think let him table this, let it be tabled, and we want to know whether he could have prevented it, whether he made efforts to prevent it or correct it, or that did he have any hand in it at all. I think we want to hear his statement. Number three, the CAG CAD, Mr. Vinod Rai, has very clearly told me that once the CAG is tabled at the Parliament on the floor of the House, we from the RTI can apply to the CAG and get the relevant documents which indict Raja, and then we can file an FIR on the basis of those documents.
I can give you the documents today. I can give you the documents today. We have the CAG report. I can give you these documents. If the government doesn't table it, we can give it to you.
But I cannot get them officially from Mr. Rai, because Mr. Rai says that unless it's tabled, so we will wait for it to be tabled.
Okay.
We would therefore urge the Prime Minister to please hasten the tabling, so that once it's tabled, we can officially get it for the court to file another FIR straight to the court or to the police station, and ask for it to be monitored investigation.
Cho Ramaswamy, we're looking at the Prime Minister's role tonight. He's the head of a coalition government. There's a coalition dharma. His belief is that every a man is innocent till proven guilty. That's the stand that the Prime Minister has always taken. How do you respond to that? Are we jumping the gun when we ask for Mr. Raja's resignation?
Protecting adharma is not coalition dharma or any dharma. It is not dharma at all, leave alone coalition dharma. That's a different matter. Two, Raja's resignation or his quitting must only be the beginning. It is not the end of everything. The whole thing has to come out. Who had all shared the loot? How did the loot happen? What is the share? What is the distribution? Everything must come out. And the government is afraid that it will come out. If they act against Raja, so many other
Mr. Ganpati says there's no loot.
In my opinion.
Mr. Ganpati says there's no loot. He says that the policy was followed of the NDA and then was carried forward by the UPA.
Wait. I will talk about that policy. You see, several years back, when there were no takers, when it was being introduced, people had to be cajoled, had to be coerced, the demand had to be created, competition had to be created. That was when the policy was made.
Right.
But now, when it is a hot cake, why should he do it? Will Raja or Karunanidhi sell their properties, all their assets at prices prevailing 6-7 years back? Because that was how it was sold earlier.
Mr. Ganpati, respond. How can you sell in 2007 national assets like Spectrum 7 years? That's the point that Cho Ramaswamy is making.
Let
him respond, Cho. Let Mr. Ganpati respond. Yes.
There is an answer to it.
Yes.
The same CAG which you have in hand has found out that selling of 6 megahertz to 10 megahertz right from 99 till date resulted in a loss of 37,000 crores.
You're not
Who are all the ministers?
See,
who are all the ministers? If this loss is accepted.
The Prime Minister wrote to Mr. Raja more than one occasion that this was the wrong thing he was doing. And yet Mr. Raja proceeded with the first come, first served basis instead of an option. I've shown those letters. I have the letters here, written by the Prime Minister.
It is a wrong interpretation. He only written to the ministry as to apprise of what is the situation. That has been continuously informed to the Prime Minister's office as to what is going on.
So are you saying the Prime Minister is equally complicit? If Mr. Raja is guilty, the Prime Minister is guilty?
No. Nobody can question the integrity of the Prime Minister. The whole world knows about the integrity of the Prime Minister. I am too small to comment on the integrity of the Prime Minister.
Let me begin.
The question that you posed,
yes,
nothing went wrong. It is the procedure adopted on the basis of the regulations given by the TRI.
Okay, so
and the cabinet committee given it.
Okay, point
right
taken.
From 99.
Okay, point taken. You know, this is the stand that is going to be taken by the DMK. I want to go back to Jayanti Natarajan. Jayanti Natarajan, my sources are telling me the Prime Minister wanted Mr. Raja out in May when he was re-elected, but he was forced into keeping him in the cabinet by Mr. Karunanidhi. What does this show? That he is under the compulsions of coalition politics? The Prime Minister of the country cannot even decide who's in his cabinet and who cannot be in his cabinet?
The fact is, it is a coalition government. While it is the Prime Minister's prerogative to decide upon his Council of Ministers, we do follow a coalition government, we do consult with our allies, and speculation, allegations, suggestions, innuendos, none of this is going to break the UPA 2, which many people may hope to do, but is not going to succeed.
Ma'am, I'm not asking about the breakup of the UPA 2. I'm just saying that an ally of yours is saying very clearly Mr. Raja won't resign. What does this mean? That the ally decides who is in the cabinet and who doesn't? Or does the Prime Minister of the country decide who should be in the cabinet and who should not?
I would like to repeat that the Prime Minister is the leader of the UPA. The Prime Minister has conducted and is conducting the government in the most admirable way. There are no terms dictated. This is a coalition government, and it functions fully as a coalition government, should in fact as an example to coalition governments.
Ma'am, in this coalition government it seems there's one rule for the allies, one for the Congress party. Ashok Chavan has to resign on public perception and Mr. Raja does not have to resign on public perception. Does this not undermine the position of the Prime Minister somewhere?
It's totally speculative. You're asking me a question based upon a speculation of yours when I don't accept what you're saying. Your speculation is what you said. Your speculation is what you're assuming something and asking me a question based on that. I don't even...
Ma'am, my speculation is based on a 45-page CAG report. Has the Prime Minister's credibility been hurt by the fact that he chooses even not to table this report in Parliament, a report which indicts a cabinet minister?
Well, that is your assumption. We will wait for any official word on this issue.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one last time. Do you believe or not the credibility of the Prime Minister in the UPA has been hurt in this entire incident by the manner in which the Prime Minister doesn't seem willing to act against his minister?
The Prime Minister's credibility cannot be hurt by anything, because the Prime Minister's credibility and in fact his integrity is unimpeachable, and every citizen in this country knows that.
Okay, you're going to, you're a good Congress spokesperson there, but I want to go to Kiran Bedi. Kiran Bedi, do you believe that the Prime Minister's integrity and credibility is above question? He's always been seen as a man of great honesty. Do you believe that is coming under question for the first time if he doesn't act against his ministers?
Well, nobody still, we want to hate, we hate to doubt the integrity, because he's one man we all respect and we believe and we still trust in him. I think he'll have to prove it this time. And he needs to show the same kind of determination he showed for the nuclear bill. I think this is the time he needs to be tested again. And I'm sure he'll come out victorious, because we want to keep our hope alive in that one man whom we really trust still.
Do you have that hope, Cho Ramaswamy? Do you believe you've seen Manmohan Singh over the years? Do you still retain the hope that Manmohan Singh at the end of the day is a man of integrity? He will not beyond a point allow anyone to dictate terms to him or to blackmail him on issues of integrity?
His record speaks otherwise, in my opinion. As far as this scam, Raja scam is concerned, Raja is king. That is the king of scams. Raja scam it is. And it is concerned, he gave a clean chit to him. He said, Raja has written an article in a newspaper saying that he has done no wrong. That's all. That is an end of the matter. What kind of justice is he meting out? I tell you something, Rajdeep. The CAG, it is not the Comptroller or Auditor General. It is the Accountant General. It is the criminally adharmic government. That is the CAG which matters now in this country. It is a criminally adharmic government. There is no dharma in it. That is what that is what Manmohan Singh is running. He may be personally honest. What is the use of my being honest if I am going to protect all thieves around me? What has been happening so long?
Mr. Ganpati takes strong exception, I believe, to the use of the word thieves.
This is something unfounded, for the simple fact nobody is going into the details of the policy. Right from the 99, it has been continuous.
So it's not just the policy.
I'm just asking, any law or rule,
yes,
which was given by the TROI or the cabinet was bypassed or violated? Anybody can point out that?
You're saying the entire, whatever was done with cabinet sanction.
No, the cabinet passed this policy in 2003.
So you're saying
that auction need not be conducted.
Are you saying Mr. Raja is held accountable? The entire cabinet must be held accountable.
The question is, in 2003, the BJP government took a conscious decision that auction cannot be done as far as the distribution of 2G spectrum. This is what scrupulously followed even today. Therefore, the CAG says if the auction is conducted like 3G, so much would have been the revenue. Now the question is whether the revenue or the common man.
You're saying
today, I'm saying today in this country, 720 million people holding a mobile phone, right from a rickshaw puller to even a wage earner in the agricultural field. It is because of this. You can't have both.
You can't
if it is a welfare government.
There is a revenue loss. There is a revenue loss.
It is because again in auction in 1994 we burnt the finger.
Okay,
they could not pay the money. Therefore, the switchover to the revenue regime.
I want to come back to it. Subramanian Swamy, are you willing to concede that in the case of Raja, you still have to actually prove the loss? When you ask for sanction to prosecute, as you've asked in the Supreme Court, you're going to have to prove exactly Raja's crime.
I'm sorry, you don't know the law. The law only requires me to submit sufficient material to show there is a prima facie case on which the Prime Minister has to apply his mind and give a decision. The Prime Minister has done nothing of the kind. He has sat on it for 2 years. All these that your CAG is coming out with, I had given to him 2 years ago. Right. So the issue is, only in the court these things can be proved. Right. And it's no use blaming Mr. Manmohan Singh, because after all, there are so many sacred cows for the media in the UPA.
Okay.
They are also playing a role behind the scenes. Okay. You got to take them also into account. After all, Raja is not the only one who's got the money. So many others have got the money, and they are more powerful than the Prime Minister today.
Let me ask that to Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy, while we target Mr. Raja, it's obviously, seen by many as an institutional problem, a systemic problem. Do you believe it's fair to target Mr. Raja only? Or should, if at all, the investigation must involve all those who are beneficiaries, the corporates, the bureaucrats, the fixers, all of them must be targeted in this, if Manmohan Singh has to redeem his credibility?
And shielding Raja is not the way to bring all of this out.
Right.
Prosecuting Raja is the way to bring all of this out. Tackle Raja. Everything else, let all the skeletons fall down. You must do that. So much is being talked about the earlier licenses and all that. When earlier the licenses were given, at one point, those who got the licenses were not able to pay the government. Right. So the government had again to intervene and then ask them to pay a percentage of the revenue. Right. That was the situation then. Now it is not like that when Raja was handling it.
So you're saying there's a difference between 99 and 2007. You cannot apply the rules of 99 to 2007.
Definitely. That is why I say let Raja sell his properties at the 99 rate now. Will he do it?
Well, the Prime Minister apparently told him
somebody has told him.
The Prime Minister apparently told him this, and Raja did not listen to the Prime Minister, it appears.
Yes, he has not listened to the TROI either. So much is being talked about the TROI.
Right.
The TROI had asked him not to do this.
Okay.
What about that?
Mr. Ganpati denies that. Mr. Ganpati believes that TROI did not ask him that.
TROI time and again. There were 5 recommendations right from 2003 till date. 2005, 2007, 2010. In none of these recommendations that auctions were put off. They made it very clear
the bottom line is
please, the distribution of 2G spectrum cannot be done by auction.
Okay.
This is a clear direction from the TROI. Then what else the ministry will do?
Mr. Ganpati,
it has to go by the other regulations which was established right from 1999, which we have not violated at all.
Mr. Ganpati, I'm going to ask you the political question. Should it happen that the Supreme Court passes strictures again against Mr. Raja on Monday and the Prime Minister asks Mr. Raja to resign, will he resign, or will the DMK say that if Mr. Raja goes, the DMK pulls out support? Is that at all a question of pulling out support to the UP on this question?
Well, we are going to have both Raja and as well as the intact alliance as ever for
if the Prime Minister asks you to, if the Prime Minister asks you to make
hypothetically imagining or presuming that if and only if.
These are
all things hypothetical.
You will not break this alliance if the Prime Minister asks Mr. Raja to step down.
Well, there is no question of Raja being asked to step down because there was no wrongdoing by his
Okay,
side.
well, the DMK is holding firm today.
Therefore, there is no question of going further beyond whether the alliance will continue and all that. This is a hypothetical question.
Okay, Mr. Ganpati.
We say that there was no wrongdoing.
You've said it. You've made your point,
yes,
Mr. Ganpati.
We will prove it.
Okay, you'll have to prove it. Mr. Ganpati, Cho Ramaswamy, Subramanian Swamy, Kiran Bedi, Jayanti Natarajan, appreciate your joining us here on India at 9. Remember, it's the Prime Minister whose reputation is on test, no less. The man whom the country thought is Mr. or believes is Mr. Honest has to now prove that he truly is a man of integrity. Remember the question we've asked you, is Manmohan Singh's credibility at stake? Vidit has written on my Blaze page on IBNlive.com. A leader wins when he ensures that along with himself, his team members too are stainless. Unfortunately, in Manmohan Singh's case, that's not been true. For sure, question marks are now being raised on his leadership.